if you're a racist or a homophobe, fuck off. Maybe do put your personality on the internet so you get cancelled and kind of leave. Just in general, you need to put more of yourself out there because people are booking the person, they're not booking the company.
You're listening to the Shoot Your Shot podcast with Lindsay and Tim.
Josh, we ripped into you last week. Whether or not you saw
That's
it,
fine.
I'm not sure.
It was actually just me. Tim actually completely had your back.
I defended you a bit.
Tim was like,
I say we because we're a team here, and
thank you.
we succeed together, we die together, so it's fine. What the fuck is the deal with the t-shirts and shorts? Please tell us what's going on.
Well, I live in Australia.
Yes.
Where
Right.
we're a superior being.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And just like we don't actually care here.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
it's not that serious.
and
It's kind of like your country's motto.
Yes.
Yeah, just get the fuck over it. It's not that bad. I go to weddings in shorts and a t-shirt if it's hot. If it's not hot, I'm in long pants.
Sure. Yes.
But my t-shirt is like I'm fucking wearing it now if you're watching
But you
the
do wear a
podcast.
hoodie and long pants.
Well, yeah,
just to
if it's
clarify
cold.
for everybody who maybe missed last week's episode, my strong opinion that I said I maybe hold loosely, and I'm hoping Josh can convince me, is that there's no place at a wedding for athleisure, which to be fair, I was mostly roasting this venue that we work at where these girls wear like sloppy athletic wear.
Serving food and
and you're
drinks.
wearing, you do have like a branded shirt and a branded sweatshirt, and shorts and Vans running shoes.
Yeah.
Right. And
Well, skateboarding shoes technically.
sorry.
Are Vans
Sneakers.
not?
You can't run. You can't run in old school Vans.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, you're right. There's
you
no
would break
running
your
to be
ankle.
done.
Checkerboard ones? No, you
There's
can't.
and I will say you look cool. You do look cool. My opinion on it was that there's no place for it. Tim said, is Josh not at a position in his career where he can do whatever the fuck he
Where
wants?
he's earned it a little bit.
Which, okay. So you live in a place that's just not that serious. And
also, I don't want to be at that serious a wedding. If you're at a wedding, if I'm turning up to a wedding and they're going to judge me based on what I'm wearing, I don't want to fucking be there.
This is not your type of place.
I'm just not there. I want to go to weddings where the people are dressed up because they know they have to be dressed up because they're at a wedding, but they look at me and they go, God,
That's real
you
life.
look comfy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I would I'd rather be in that. And then like the dads always come up to me and they're like, I wish I was in my shorts. I got told I had to wear pants. Like,
And they're like,
That's
I'm going to
where I
take my
wanna
tie
be.
off right now that I know that
Yeah.
this guy doesn't have to wear a tie.
Yeah.
every time I go into a wedding and they're like really, really dressed up, I feel a little bit out of place. And then I remember that I actually don't give a fuck. And I'm like, literally on the wedding on the weekend, the best man was like, oh, glad to see you put your best clothes on for the day. And I was like, yeah, well, when you see me rolling on the floor, you'll understand why I'm not in a suit. And then not fucking 45 minutes later, they ask for the photo where like you lay on the ground and everybody
Yeah.
looks over. And I was able to just get on the ground and I was dirty and I just brushed it off.
Yes.
The
No, I
bridesmaid
have
had fucking...
peak jealousy of photographers that do commit
Yeah.
to a more cash look. Absolutely. I am painfully jealous.
And this isn't, I didn't start wedding photography and go, hey, I'm going to fuck the industry and I'm just going to wear whatever I want. I started in like suit pants and a
Yeah.
white
Sure.
shirt and
That's
like a brown
actually what
belt.
made me think of this. I was getting my hair done at the salon last week and I saw your post where you were like, this is what I used to wear. And it was sort of
Yeah.
like the standard dude wedding photographer thing, right? Where
Well, that's
you
what
just
I Googled.
Yeah, you were like, what do I wear? And then you see YouTubers and whatever, and they're all in the standard blue dress pant, brown shoes, brown belt. Like, and it does kind of look like you're going to the office or whatever, right? Man, I'm convincing myself out of this shit. Loosely held is all right.
Literally, I started when I was trying to become a wedding photographer. I Googled
What do we wear?
male wedding photographer outfit alternative because
Okay.
I am if you can't see me on a video, I'm covered from head to toe in tattoos. I listen to shitty music and I'm not a normal person.
No, so it would be weird for you to all of a sudden start looking like
You're not.
Dwight Schrute. Is that his
Yeah.
name? Yeah.
I didn't even get married in a suit and a tie. Why the fuck would I wear one to work?
Yeah.
Right.
Fair.
But I Googled alternative wedding photography attire, blah, 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 blah. And there was people wearing like button-up shirts and stuff. And I was like, cool, this is what I need to wear because that's what the internet told me I need to do. And
Right.
then I noticed It was right around COVID. I feel like COVID, I say it a lot, but COVID was that tipping point of like getting rid of people or people becoming themselves.
Yes, totally.
It was right around COVID, and I was like, there's this huge disconnect between the person that I am and the person they meet in the Zoom call and the person that comes to the engagement shoot and the person they're speaking to. And this fucking nerd that's turning up to their wedding wearing like
It's
pants
actually
and a
so
shirt.
valid. That's
So there
very
was, like,
valid.
it wasn't the same person. So I started slowly transitioning my way out, and I went from like wearing the button up, whatever, to wearing like my skinny jeans, and I was wearing like a long sleeve, kind of like what Tim's wearing now.
Yeah.
Like a button up long sleeve, like
Tim's
a
got
button
a
up
good
long
little-
sleeve shirt.
yeah.
And it was nice. If it was hot, I could roll my sleeves up a little
Yeah.
bit.
For sure.
And then that transitioned into party shirts, which is kind of like a more formal Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
But I had like sharks drinking beer on them and like all that sort of stuff. And then I transitioned from that because I found that as I was filming behind the scenes stuff, because of your fucking husband, Lizzie.
That's what I say all the time. For all of us.
Like now we all have to do BTS.
God
We
damn
can't
it,
just
Taylor.
show a wedding.
Yeah, he's a real bastard. But I was getting like behind the scenes photos and stuff. But if I wore the same shirt to more than one wedding, then people would be like, oh, he repeated his outfit. And I was like, well, I don't want to have to keep paying for new shirts
Yeah.
because I don't have to wear a different thing.
I think about it
So I
on
was
this
like, well-
podcast all the time. I'm like, I have to wear a different outfit all the time. Like I actually only have so many shirts, you guys.
Well,
Like,
let's talk about that. Like, I feel like there's a double standard when it comes to women
Yeah.
photographers and male photographers. Josh
Yeah.
can get away with things like this. I could probably roll to a wedding dressed like I am right now. Could you
Yeah,
so much?
I will say-
Is there a female Josh Huggett in Australia? Are there people who are females who shoot weddings who were like, take the Josh Huggett approach?
Josh, this is so interesting because I was thinking about this while I was like getting dressed to come here to do this episode because Tim and I talk about it all the time how
Yeah.
Tim produces and puts together this entire fucking podcast, okay? Like the whole thing. The only thing that I have to do that is so painfully annoying for me is that I have to put on makeup and do my hair for every single episode. And I find that to be incredibly annoying. And do I have to? No, I could absolutely roll up here and not do that. But would we have a lower viewership? Yes. Would people take me less seriously and not listen to me as much if I did not do this whole bit? Yes. Unfortunately, that's just how that is. And I do think that there is a similar thing that happens. I mean, it's just happened throughout like my entire life. It's the same thing for most women that choose to wear makeup and do their hair, is that we would be looked down upon as being like not even less professional, but like, oh, we can't take her seriously kind of thing.
How can we
You know what I
expect her to
mean?
create and they say when she can't like
And so
make herself look
then I was
presentable?
thinking, shit, is this internalized misogyny
Yes.
that is making me feel like, why can't Josh
Absolutely.
wear a branded t-shirt and go? I mean, I don't think that the internalized misogyny extends to you. Unfortunately, Josh, you're like 7 feet tall and command a presence that unfortunately people would not pass along to myself. But it is interesting that it even carries over into like the type of gear that I have. When I first started, I would always choose a longer lens just so that people would be like, oh, she's real. She's a real photographer. Because otherwise people are like, oh, like, is this your first day?
That a kit
What
line?
else do you do? What's your husband do? Like the kinds of questions that I would get all the time. Now I think I give off more of a fuck off vibe that nobody really messes with me in that sense. Like I wear a black blazer, I wear a black t-shirt and black dress pants, and people just don't mess with me quite as much. But it also probably is a personality thing. I'm just meaner.
It's also, but even the stuff that I do, like my whole being is that I'm just a bit of a fuckhead on a wedding day, and like I'll tell people where to go, and that's why people hire me. Like the people that hire me, they hire me because they don't want to have their photo taken, and maybe they're a little bit scared of their mother-in-law.
Sure.
So then they bring me along, and I'll tell people where to go, and I'll run the day, and I'll make sure I'll do all that sort of stuff. And when I do it, people say it's banter. If Lindsay was to do it, she'd be called a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is actually a very interesting thing that you say, because I am also very let's say commanding on a wedding day, because I really can't. I think you and I have that in common. I can't stand when a day gets away from me. I can't stand when things take longer than they should.
Yeah.
One of the biggest complaints I hear from other couples before hiring me is like, oh, I was in a wedding and the photography took hours and it was awful. The family photos took forever. We never got to really enjoy the wedding because we were doing a photo shoot. So I really took that on in the early days, and I just try to make that really fast. But if people aren't listening to you because you're not commanding them, and I don't do it in like a bossy way, but surely it could come across that way. But it's crazy how many more hoops I have to go through to be playfully direct with people instead of just direct, right? Like I watch your TikToks and the way that you speak to people, and I'm like, I think I say these same things, but I have to make them very soft.
You have to say haha after like a few sentences. Like you have to make it very,
We were watching some of your reels before this, Josh, and I actually died and I said to Tim, oh my God, I said this to somebody once. So it was your reel where you're like, the less important you are to the couple, the further you get out. And then if you're a +1, stand on the end because I don't want to have to or I can't Photoshop you out. So I'm just going to crop you out. And it's funny because I actually have said something so similar at a number of weddings, and it goes over like spoiled milk, where I usually make a joke in like family photos where I go, and I'm gonna do one with the +1s and one without the +1s, just in case you don't make the cut. Most people that have a sense of humor laugh at that, and some people are like clutching their pearls like, how could she say that? But I feel like if Tim was to say that, they would laugh. Anyways, this isn't a conversation about misogyny.
But you guys are also too close to that American border where like fun stops. Yeah. Canada's in this weird spot where you're so close to being free and having fun and laughing and having your own little wedding industry. Like Australian wedding industry is very different.
You guys have a totally different vibe.
We just like having fun. And you guys are so close to having that complete separation, but you'll always be linked with America. So you'll always be linked to like the same sort of industry. So you'll get mixed bags at your weddings where like you can say the fun stuff and some of the people will be like, yeah, that's great. I can understand that this is a joke and she's not trying to offend me. But then I feel like there are going to be some older generations or people that have only seen like American wedding content and American weddings that are like, oh, what?
Dare they? Yeah.
It's funny you say that,
she
Josh,
thinks I won't make it.
Because like I watched some content from videographers, namely Bottle Brush Films, and their stuff is wildly different to anything we could ever get away with in North America.
What was the one quote that they played? Tim sent me this video and I was like, how are we not shooting weddings like this? And then I was like, oh, we don't
They
live
remixed
down
the mother
under.
of the groom saying, I thought you were on meth or dead. And they made that into like a hip hop track that they kept bringing in back into the edit. And I'm like, this is incredible.
That's so funny.
Sure
Can you imagine that being added into a wedding film here? People would be like, so that's cool, but can you make one that we can put literally anywhere else? Because I'm going to be fired or something if that's a thing that people have. Yeah. I think that's really like the primary thing we want to talk to you about, Josh, though, is that you have made this huge name for yourself on the internet. And also, I presume, in the real life.
Yes.
Where your personality precedes you, and you have done such a good job from the second that people find you, whether it be through a reel or TikTok or whatever, or being on a podcast, some sort of like outward, I don't know what the top of your funnel is like, but then they go to your website and it checks out. Yeah, it makes sense. That's the guy. And then probably they get into a call or a meeting situation with you. Okay, I sent you an email today and your bounce back even was like, that's very on brand. Yeah. Like even your auto response was like, XOXO Joshy. And I was like, this is so funny.
No, Joship girl.
Joship girl.
Yeah.
Joship girl. I'm sorry to not even give respect to it was so perfect.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, it still felt very professional. Like it still felt like, oh, I would trust this guy. I respect him. First of all, it's professional that you've got a quick thing coming back saying, hey, I'm away with the fam for a little bit. Yeah. I'll respond. If it's an urgent thing, I'll still have my eyes on it. But it was said in the tone that was, still you.
It's consistent, right? It's consistent across the board.
And then when you show up, absolutely no one is going to be surprised that you're the guy that's making jokes and that's fun and that's on the dance floor and that's probably going to have a beer with the guests.
Yeah.
So I guess
Not probably, definitely.
Definitely going to have a beer with the guests. I want to talk about this. What's the upside for you in being able to be this person instead of like, I know some photographers that are the total opposite of that. And what I love the most about this industry is that there's no rule book. Everybody does their own thing. As long as you're not an asshole, we all agree that you can keep doing your own thing and you should do it because there's a client for you that's not for me and vice versa. But I've seen photographers on the other side of that are like, I want no one to know my personality. I don't want them to know my personal life. I don't want them to know anything about me. I show up, I do my task. I want ultra luxury weddings. And I want this like big gap between me and my clients personally. Yeah. So what's the benefit for you in being like what feels like a very real version of yourself and a very like disarmed version of yourself?
I don't ever need to think about anything. Like, I don't need to be like,
I'm dead.
How should I respond to this email? I'll just fucking whatever comes to my head. I'm like, blah, 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 and I'll send it off. I only do the fun bit of my job.
Yeah.
Ever. If there's something shit that I don't enjoy, I'll outsource it. I got fucking so over emails, so I got an admin assistant.
Right.
I hate editing. I got an editor. I hated video editing. I got a video editor. I only do the fun bit of my job, and I only ever need to be myself. Like, I don't need to try to put on my professional hat and try to write a professional email. Right. I want all of my emails and everything I send to my couples or fucking anybody that reaches out to feel like it was a text message shared between mates. So that way when we turn up on the wedding day, we are just mates. We've just kind of been texting this whole time and then we just hang out. Our ethos is that we're just an extension of the bridal party that just happened to bring a camera. Like, so I'm very good at, making people feel comfortable and bringing people on side when I enter a room. That comes from my 11 years in aged care pre this, when I was the first point of call when someone came into a nursing home. So you'd be living in your own house. You'd been living there for 60 years. You'd fall over. You'd go to the hospital. The hospital would be like, you're going to go to a nursing home and die. And you'd be like, oh, that's a bummer. And then they'd get dropped in the nursing home, and then I'd be the first person to enter the room. And I'd be like, hey, we've got bingo on Thursdays. Did you want to come? So you have to learn pretty quickly how to
How many years did you do that for, Josh?
11 years. It's from age 16 to 27.
No way. Oh my God. Yeah. That is, I did not know that about you. I did not know that. So you feel like, you had to be this. My jaw is so dropped right now. We've heard of some really interesting jobs that people have had, you used to sell trailers, whatever. That's a good one. But I think that you would literally have to be nothing but your honest and real self with these people, because they are so vulnerable at that moment. And it really does carry over into wedding days too, right? Like into being photographed, into trying to get the real side out of people. You have to be that disarming person in order for people to be able to be honest, I guess, with you about how they're doing.
So I did that from 16, like when I was still a kid.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Brain wasn't
legally and physically.
Yeah.
But from 16, and then I was like a carer. So I used to shower the residents at 18, which is always a little bit weird for an old, she's like fucking 82 and I'm an 18-year-old kid coming in to help her in the shower.
Wow.
So you kind of break down all these barriers, you build relationships, all that sort of stuff. But we do all of that now on wedding days, and that's how we're able to get such wacky, wild, fun photos. Like I always tell everybody my wedding photos are good. They're not great. I'm not going to be the best wedding photographer in the world. There are so many people out there that are so much more creative that can take, like Oak and Iron Studios. They take the most ridiculously fucking wacky, cool, amazing photos. Liam, good. You all know Liam.
Yeah.
He's stupidly talented.
Yeah, so
and
creative.
The way his eyes work and he can conceptualize a photo and then take it is remarkable. Sam, another great example of someone who can just see a wall and be like, that'd be a fucking sick double exposure. And then he just like
You're like,
creates the most ridiculous thing.
the literal garbage dumpster, and he's like, the light here is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. This is perfect. You know what I need? A 20 mil prime, and I can make this fucking amazing. Get me a 20 mil prime,
and I'm done. Yeah.
But like, I can't do that. And I've never been able to do that. But what I can do is make normal people feel really comfortable in front of the camera and make them get really fun photos hanging out with their friends.
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of lean into, even though I want to be Liam.
Well, you know what, Josh?
Well,
there's still
special
room.
guest for you right now. Yeah, come on in.
There's still
me.
room to grow. What I actually, you know, it's interesting you say that, because I think that the skill that you have is so much harder to learn.
Yes,
that's a skill that you not necessarily are born with, but it's something that you
need to develop at an early age by watching the elderly in some ways. You know what I mean?
Washing.
I think everybody should go out, grab a granny, and
get a tub, get some hot warm water.
Get a tub.
Yeah. But to be so for real with you, I also feel like getting to see the very real side of life, not to make it dark, but like after my best friend died, I 1000% became a better photographer, because I did give less shits about things that didn't matter, 100%. Like, to the point that I was almost like, I was bordering on Josh levels of I don't give a shit about anything for like the whole year afterwards. I would show up. Some of my best work came out of that year because there was no pretension. I was literally like, take it or leave it. We're going to make some nice pictures.
You get one shot at this.
And also, I will know exactly what you want, because I just had to put together a gallery of my best friend's photos for her celebration of life. So truthfully, I know exactly what kind of photos matter to you and what will matter to you in 10 years or 20 years or whatever, right? Yeah. So like, although I'm sure it was quite traumatic seeing a revolving door of elderly people coming in and rest in peace going out, it also probably allowed you to get to this point in your career where you go to people's wedding days and you're like, yeah, okay, so you say you guys want candid photos? Bullshit. Here's the photos you truly want, right?
No. That's nothing. You don't want any photos of the side of your head. Listen to me. You want a photo standing and looking at the camera and smiling. Yeah. That's the one you're going to use forever.
Yeah.
But I went to every funeral for my residents as well. So so I've been to like hundreds of funerals. But I liked the closing of the door. So like I'd meet them and then I knew this version of them. So like 82-year-old Eden, and then I'd follow her all the way through, and then she'd die, and then like we'd clean her up and ship her out, and then ship her out's a weird way to move a body, but we'd clean her up and pass her on. Sure. And then they'd come and put her in a bag, and then we'd go to the funeral, and then I'd get to learn all about the other side of it, like the mum version, the like learning. So I went to all the funerals. I've got a funeral suit that's physically got holes in it because I've worn it so often.
Wow.
But I now, because I spent, so of those 11 years in aged care, I spent 9 of those years in memory support, which is all dementia care and people that are losing their memory.
Yeah.
So everything that we do is about triggering memories in 25 to 30, 40 years time. I tell all my couples in Zoom calls, I tell everybody when they come to me, like, I'm not trying to get a banging photo that is going to sit on your Instagram feed for like 2 weeks until you get a dog and then you replace your profile picture. I'm trying to make a gallery that is going to trigger memories in 40 years time when you're sitting down with your grandkids on your knee and you're like, wow, we need a, this was our wedding day. This is why like the first photo in our gallery is a photo of the house that they're getting ready in, because that house is probably not going to look like that in 30 years time. Yeah. Or if it's an Airbnb, they're definitely not going to remember what it was. But that's going to start that memory triggering. We start with like a photo of the house there on like a 15 mil. Yeah, we were here. And then there's a photo of the door. And then there's a photo of like maybe the fucking keychain if it's their house, or like something that they've got stuck on the wall. A lot of the time they get ready in their parents' house. So I'm taking photos of their parents' house when they were young enough to get married and still go to their parents, like, because they'll be fucking dead by the time they're looking at it. So I'll take photos of all these things. If there's photos on the wall, like it takes me 2 seconds and I just click a photo of it. Like love, live, love, laugh, or whatever.
course.
Maybe not those. They're a bit shit, but like
Some
you know,
kitchen
something
thing.
like
That you're
Home
like, why is
Sweet
there a
Home,
rooster? Yeah.
yeah, or if mum's put the invitation up on the fridge and she's used a magnet of the kid when she was at kindy or something, like you just snag a photo of that. It's not getting printed. It's not going in an album. It's not going to get put on Instagram. But in 35 to 40 years' time, they're going to fucking love it. I'm married, so I know exactly how many photos I've used from my own wedding. It's about 27. Okay. So
Yeah.
the rest of the gallery is just bringing those memories back in.
Archival memory footage, right? Yeah.
And it's interesting you say that because it's probably actually a hard thing to market to people, right? Because the thing that's an easy market is I'm going to make you look so sick in your Instagram photos that your friends are all going to be jealous, right? Like that's kind of what most of us do, right? Myself included. A lot of the time is like, I'm going to make it look like you had the most expensive, most opulent wedding that your friends are all going to be jealous of. You looked so hot. Your dress was gorgeous. You have the hottest partner, best you've ever looked, most fun you've ever had. Like, let's just make this look like this was the absolute best day. It's not to say that I don't shoot these moments like you're describing, but I wonder how much harder marketing yourself as the person that's like, I'm not 1000% the most creative photographer. I'm definitely, and I say this also, like not necessarily I say that to my clients, but I feel that like I am not the best photographer out there. I know that for a fact, but I do know what I bring to the table. And I think what you're trying to say is what you bring to the table is the ability to have like one hell of a good time. And also you document things that you know that they actually want. But how do you tell your couples like,
how do you
I know better than you about what you want?
Bring them into the mindset of like, hey, just so you know, it's not fun to think about now, but 90% of the people who are going to be at the wedding will be dead one day, and you're going to be wanting these images of 90%,
the details. 100%, actually.
But like while you're still alive.
Like 100%, they will all
going to die. Well, we don't know. But like, that's
hey, welcome to wedding planning. Just a heads up, everybody's dying.
Everyone's dying slowly.
So you need me
a lot quicker.
Otherwise, you won't
think.
remember them.
Yeah.
Exactly. How do you frame that in a way that's still marketable and doesn't make people just depressed after the?
Well, those people that really want super pretty Instagram photos, I don't want to be at their fucking wedding. So everything that you just described, Lindsay, is like
you're like, get me out of there.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, that's not me. I work with I like to say that I work with normal people. Just I tell all of my couples that they're completely ordinary, and that's just like where I want to be. I specialize in people that feel really uncomfortable in front of the camera. They probably don't have many photos of themselves. I have like a whole neurospicy client base that like get overstimulated. They get touched out. They don't really want to be there. They're sick of their family. So my job is to come in and make people that any other photographer would ruin their day.
Yeah.
They would fuck it by posing them too much, by getting them too touched out, by like just ruining the whole thing. And you know those photographers that like people they whinge about, like you said at the start, like, oh, we were at a photographer and then we just took photos all day and it ruined everything.
Yeah.
Those photographers that are going to be perfect for some couples. There are some couples that will love it. Like,
well, I mean,
think your
I left
clients
a wedding.
would hate me.
I think that our clients would not be each other's people for sure, which is why I love that we can commit to being the versions of ourselves that we are so confidently, because I want to be the person for somebody. It's interesting you say that because I was leaving a wedding a couple weeks ago. It was pouring rain. It was like the most torrential rainstorm we've had here in ages. Like, I actually waited inside the venue for longer because of how much it was raining, because I didn't want my gear to get wet on my run to the car. I saw another couple because it was what did you say?
Because it's Nikon.
Because it's a Nikon, it's not weather sealed like Canon used to be. It still is.
It is weather sealed. I didn't want to get wet. I had done all of my client photos earlier in the day when it was beautiful out. I knew that there was a huge storm coming, and typically that means that there's going to be like a 6 sunset, and hopefully it rains after said 6 sunset.
Yeah.
So we do gorgeous sunset photos, knowing I'm not doing night photos unless my client says to me, yes, I would absolutely love to go get drenched in the rain, in which case okay, we'll do that. Most of my clients are not like, yeah, let me go be a sopping wet mess in the rain. I leave this wedding and I had seen flashes going off inside of the venue, and I thought, oh, it's like crazy lightning out there. From the time I'm standing inside of the venue, I'm seeing this and I'm like, holy shit, there's a photographer out doing photos in the rain right now. They were out there for like 25 minutes with 2 assistants. The couple had one tiny little umbrella. The rain is going sideways, okay? And I watched them stand in the same spot for almost the entire time. So like, I don't know. It's not like they're getting like a crazy amount of variety, or they're really having fun in the rain, or like this is a thing. And I was just thinking, my clients would murder me if I did this.
That's the last thing you do.
However, this couple, very clearly, I saw them earlier in the day. She was like one of these, she was, I think, a Chinese bride. She probably had like 5 different dresses throughout the day that I saw on her. Her wedding was a photo shoot for her, right? So for her, she would be pissed that I wasn't like, should we go outside in the rain and do 35 minutes of couples portraits? Because she wanted that, right? Or they wanted that. And I think that it's very interesting to know that even within like, okay, we're shooting at the same venue. We probably got the same inquiries. At some point, they figured out this guy was the guy for them and not me, right? And in the same way, your clients probably wouldn't reach out to me. They'd be like, something here is too stuffy. I don't know what's happening here, but it doesn't seem right for us. And I think that that's probably how it's not necessarily get away with it. It's actually the opposite. It's like, that's how you are able to be your real version of yourself, because they're like dying for a photographer like that. Like these couples are wishing that somebody like that real human existed, and all they've seen are the guys in blue slacks and a button up and brown shoes, and they're like, shit, that guy's gonna be really serious.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay.
That's all I want to do.
That's all you want to do?
Yeah, it's just fucking hang out. I just want to.
Okay, well, actually, no, then I do have a question for you in regards to hanging out. Has it ever backfired for you? Here's my feeling and my question on why I ask it. Part of the reason why I am very hesitant to even get a drink at the bar. I'll always have a glass of wine. Like I'm not that stuffy. I'm not that boring. I'll always have a glass of wine with people. Yep. I do have fun on the dance floor with people. Like at most weddings, I would have a cocktail and stand on the dance floor and take photos. Like I have no problem doing that. I think it makes people have better dance floor photos. Yeah. If I have a vibe that I'm one of them, right? And I'm not like watching them from the outside, documenting them like they're animals at the zoo. But I do have a fear that if somebody saw me with like a bottle of beer, like I almost have like a line of, okay, I could do a glass of wine because that's seen as being somewhat more polished or put together. But if I was to have a bottle of beer, then what would people think if something went south, or if somebody had a bad opinion of how the photos turned out, or if somebody had a bad opinion of how the day ran, would they immediately say, well, of course it went poorly because the girl was in jeans and was drinking all day. Yeah. So has your very like cozy, comfortable approach ever backfired? Have you worried about that, or do you give a shit?
I'm sure it probably has, but like, I just don't care. If there's a guest at the wedding and they see me with a beer and then they go, oh, geez, I can't believe he's got a beer, I don't want to be at their fucking wedding. If they see me with a beer and then they see the photos and they don't like them, they're like, that's why I don't like the photos, is because he had a beer. I don't want to be at their wedding. Like, I want to be to the people that are in the room that see me with a beer and they're the ones trying to make me scull it. Great. We're probably going to have a good time. Like, got it. When we're at the bar and I'm taking photos of them all doing shots and they're trying to give me shots, that's probably the wedding that I want to be at, not fucking Anne in the corner who's like, oh my God, I can't believe he's wearing old school Vans.
Do you get
like,
a lot of these
to a
weddings
wedding.
still? Like, do you have you weeded them all out? Like, what's your process to make sure you don't have to shoot Anne's wedding?
So everything that we put into the ethos, my entire, I reckon I've said ethos like 6 times today, but
I really like how
everything
you
we
say
put-
it, though. It's
You're
like,
well read.
it's really nice how you say it. It sounds cringy when we say ethos. It doesn't
Ethos.
sound the same.
Ethos. Everything that I put into the ethos is my. It's like it's book me or block me.
Yeah.
I don't. There's nothing
Book
in between.
me or block me. Oh
book me
my
or block me.
God. That's
there's
so
not-
good. Like, I don't want somebody in between that feels like lackluster about me. I want you to hate me, or I want you to book me for your wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's 8 billion people on the planet. I need to shoot 60 weddings a year. That's easy. That's only 120
60 is a
people.
shitload of weddings, though. Okay, that is
I'm
absolutely.
doing 84 this year. I'm trying to cut
Jesus
down.
Christ.
I'm trying to cut down. Okay,
I'm trying.
let's get into that.
trying very hard,
How the hell are you doing that? I know you've talked about it briefly here about that you outsource stuff. How are you doing that level of capacity? Like, you have a family. You have
Yes.
a life outside of photography. I have shot 60 weddings a year, and it was just Taylor and me, and I never saw my family, and it was not fun. I did not. Actually, it was fun. It was really fun for the time period that I did it. And actually, my come to Jesus moment during COVID was, I'd like to go to the cottage on the weekends.
Yeah.
And it was at the same time for me as Imagine came into my life. So there was that, thank God. But what's your process? How are you doing 60, apparently 84 weddings in a year? How?
I only do the fun bits. I only go to the wedding. Like that means I'm only working 84 days a year, technically.
Yeah.
Which is
Most
very
people
minimal. And
work
that is what I used to say to people.
Most people
Like,
work
that's
5
minimal.
days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most people work 5 days a week, 9 to 5. I did that. When I left aged care because I was having a kid, and I needed to make more money because my wife wouldn't be at work. I went from aged care, which fills your heart and makes you feel really, really good, to becoming a car salesman, which you earn more money, but you have to sell your soul.
Right.
So I went to that one, but I was working. I would wake up in the morning at 7 o'clock. I would be on the car yard from 8 till 6. I would leave the car yard at 6 p.m. I'd come home. I'd see my daughter for like an hour. Then Bianca would go to sleep with her. Bianca's my wife. They would go to sleep. And then I would work on my photography business until like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Like
Jesus.
I worked really, really hard. Now I just work on the weekend. I just go to a wedding. I take some pictures. I drink some beer. I hang out with people. And then I come back home. Like it's really not, it's only 84 days of work. It's not that hard. It's hard now that we do so many travel weddings. That kind of fucks you because you're traveling a lot more. But we're very privileged in this industry, in this world that we live in, that we're creatives and we run our own businesses, that we think 84 days of work is a lot. People were like, oh, what? You know, there are people that work like FIFO. They fly in, fly out, and they work for 4 weeks straight. And then they come back and they get a week off, and then they go
they're
and work
working
for 4 weeks straight.
12 plus
Literally.
16-hour days, those whole days long, right? Like,
We don't do that much. Like even when I'm working, I'm not really working, am I? I'm just taking pictures of something that's happening around me. So
I'm just at this event with a camera.
Well, yeah, like I don't. I mean, and when you first start, yes, it is a lot more work because you really have to think about everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
But once you've done 40 weddings, 20, 30, 40 weddings,
You get the format.
it really is muscle memory at some point.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of, you know what you're doing. You know what you're taking photos of. I don't do any editing. I don't do any of the emails anymore. I do the Zoom calls, but that's because I enjoy them and I want to make sure that I can vibe with the couples. So I do like 3 Zoom calls a week, and then I go to a wedding on the weekend. And I only work summer. So winter in Australia, the weddings essentially drop off. Like
Right.
so what's today? Today's the 8th of October.
Yep.
We're coming into, this is our busy season at the moment.
Yeah.
I've just shot 4 weddings, but I've got 25 weddings left for the year. And that'll lead me up till Christmas. But that's like double and triple headers. But I also just had 2.5 months off
Right.
over winter where we go on family holidays and I spend all of the school holidays with my kids, and if we want to go to Sydney for the weekend, we'll go to Sydney for the weekend. Or if we want to fucking just go to the beach on a Tuesday because it's a nice day, I'll pull my daughter out of school and we'll go to the beach. It's a
nice life.
Yeah, well, it's about like not putting so much weight and emphasis on a weekend and putting weight and emphasis on the actual time that you can spend with the people that you enjoy.
Yeah.
So if I'm at work, like I still come into my office 4 days a week and I'll like make little podcasts and I'll do education stuff or whatever. But if my wife rings me and she's like, hey, it's a really nice day outside, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go to the beach or let's go to the skate park. And I'll just shut the door and I'll go to work. And it's a Wednesday at 2 p.m. Whereas I've come from industries where if you want to take a day off, you have to send 3 emails and ask somebody like, hey, can I please have this morning off because it's my daughter's first day of school and I want to take her to school.
And they're like, sorry, somebody else has that day off already because it's their first.
They just say no.
Yeah. I've had jobs that I literally had to quit because I wasn't able to get a day off. And I was like, okay, well, if it's between you saying no and me having a job, I guess I take no job then. That's crazy. But you're right. We do have the flexibility there.
Lindsay and I do
so
also.
Like
Go ahead.
I take my daughter to school every single day. Every day
amazing.
I wake up, I drive my daughter to school, and then I come into my studio and I fuck around in this little thing that I call a job. And then I go home and I have dinner with my kids 5 nights a week.
And it's so funny you say that because people, when I first started and I got a lot more like just shitty questions from people. I feel like maybe it was that people didn't understand the wedding industry. It also could have been because I was younger. So people just messed with me more. But people would say, oh, this is your full-time job. Like, how do you ever plan on having a family? And I was like, you go to work 5 days a week. I go to work 2. What are you talking about? Like, I'm so confused by that. And I also grew up with a dad that walked me to and from school most days because he was self-employed. And like, that changes your life as a kid and as a family to have a parent that's able to do those things. And I think a lot of the time photographers do focus on the sacrifice and the hard work and the hard job. Our friend Chris Denner, a friend of the podcast, came on and was like, I'm not a bricklayer. Like, I have friends that do really hard jobs. They're laborers, they're contractors. Like, these guys are out in the fucking muck doing really hard shit. And we're like at a cocktail party. Literally.
Every weekend.
Every single weekend.
Everyone's like, everybody gets so excited. Like, oh my God, we got a wedding this weekend. How exciting. We do that every fucking week, 3 days a week. Like in peak season, if I'm doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I get to go to 3 parties. Yeah. That's great.
That's awesome.
Where's the bad bit?
So, okay. So I agree. So I agree with you in that the first few years are there's no way to avoid the grind that the first few years of truly building like the solid foundation of a photography business or any business that's just going to exist, right? Yeah. But you've gotten to this point where you don't have to do that anymore. That's sick. I love that for you. How did you get over the hurdle of trusting somebody else with your editing or trusting somebody else with your emails? Did you have to let go of some perfectionism? Did you never really care about the perfectionism?
Was it like a long onboarding process to get to the point where you are today?
And also, how did you find them? Like, give us the actual logistics of how you found people.
Here's the legitness. As soon as you start offering wedding videography, you're going to get a whole bunch of Indian companies message you and say, hello, sir. Hello, sir.
I don't
Josh.
even offer videography and I get those. So yeah.
Yeah. Can I edit your gallery? I'll do the first one for free. Sir, Josh, please, sir. I was sitting at my desk. It was like midnight. I had 5 wedding videos to edit. I was editing a wedding video and I was like getting it all together. And then I got one of these emails and I was like, fuck it. Like these galleries are going to be delivered late because I'm so behind and I'm trying to get it done. And it would take me like an hour and a half to find a song because I didn't like the fucking beat at the 2-minute mark or something. So I'd change it. So I would sit there and then this company messaged me and they were like, sir, please just give us one. We'll do the first one for free. I'm like, worst case scenario, it's shit. And I'm in the exact same position that I'm in now.
Yeah.
So I was like, here, take this one gallery. And so I sent them one video, like all the files.
Project files, yeah.
And then like 3 days later, they sent back a video that was so much better than what I was editing. I was like, sick. Here
You're
you
in.
fucking go.
Here's 5 more. Yeah.
And here's take these ones. And they got them all back before the one that I was finished editing.
Wow.
And I was like, there's something to this. And then if I didn't like something, I was like, fix this. And then I didn't need to fix it.
Yeah.
You just
fixed
put
it,
in
and
an
then
email, I would
sent it back.
This speech not here. I'd like it here
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
And then if a couple came back and they're like, can we change the song? I didn't have to re-edit the whole video.
Yeah.
Because the edit videos are made to the beat of the song.
Right.
I would just forward the email to the editor and he would have to do it. And I was
Crazy.
I didn't have to do it anymore. So that meant that all of this mental load that I was having to put into the editing of these videos, which takes dozens of hours,
Yes.
I could now put into something else, like making sure I had better photo edits, because I'm not that great of a photo editor. I'm very, I say it a lot, I'm a very emotional editor. Like I'll get
Same.
into it and I'll
That's why I had
edit
to use
10,
Imagine.
50 that's why we use these beautiful AI products
Yeah.
at our disposal. But
I'm so emotional with my editing. And then if
Yeah.
I, like literally based on how I'm feeling that day, an image could take me 2 seconds or 10 minutes to get through because I'm like, nope, that's not right. Nope, that's not right.
Yep.
Needs to be cooler.
Or I'd edit like 10 really good ones and then I'd kind of get a little bit distracted. So I'd be batch editing some and then you'd go back and you'd be like, oh, this looks sick, dark and moody. And then you'd make it a little bit dark and moody. And then you go back and look at the whole gallery and you're like, what the fuck
Yeah,
happened?
you go to
does
grid.
not match.
You go to grid view and you're
Yeah.
like, well, who was she? What
It's
was
on
she
Pic-Time, you're
thinking?
like,
Yeah.
this is not the same wedding day, is it? Is
like
this the same?
7 different photographers. It's like, you know,
Yes.
those reels of like, I asked 4 different photographers to edit the same photo. I'd
Yeah.
look at my own galleries and I'd be like, wow, 4 people were here at the same time.
All
So yeah, I
within
outsourced
the
to them.
same-
They did that. It was easy. And then
Wow.
what was next? Photo editing was next.
Yeah.
Because again, I was really emotional. So I found a photo editor. It took like maybe 3 months and maybe like 30 galleries of like, I would still be editing them, but I would send them to him and
Yeah.
then I would make us compare them at the end. I'd be like, nah, do it this way, get rid of this photo. And again, this is where AI has made it so much fucking easier
Yeah. Yes.
because now my editor puts everything through AI.
You can
and
train a
then
model.
Yeah.
He we have our model trained, so he literally just gets the already edited photos, does a secondary cull, does some black and whites, makes a couple of bangers, and then we're done. And so that was easy. And then the emails, anything that somebody is answering more than once, any email that you're answering more than once can be automated. Anything you're doing more than 3 times, someone else can do it for you. So I use a company called Wedding Workflows run by Rick Liston, who I'm sure you know, WPPI and stuff. He's just a guy. He's not
Just a
just a
guy.
guy. He's just a guy. He's an Aussie guy, but he goes to WPPI and stuff, so you may see him there. But
He sounds
is called
familiar, but I don't
Wedding
think I
Workflows.
do. But I'm intrigued because the thing that kills me more than anything is my emails. Like just like
Yeah.
has a stranglehold on me.
But Wedding Workflows is literally, it's a offshore virtual assistant company, but because he's a wedding photographer, they are all trained in just wedding photography, email answering
Amazing.
and making timelines and everything. So
Oh my
my
God.
assistant Carla does all of our timelines for us because we have we work the same day all of the time. Like,
Yeah.
we work the same 10-hour day. So she does all of our timelines with the couples. She answers most of the emails. Like we get 250 to 300 leads a week. No, we don't. That's a lie. We get 300 leads a month. We get 100 leads a week typically.
That's a lot.
But she does all of that admin for me. So then if there's an email that she can't answer, she flags it and then I just have to answer those ones if it's a very specific question. But if it's about timelines or photo locations or dietaries or rosters or anything, she can answer that because she already knows all of the answers to the questions.
Yeah.
Right.
Anything that needs my personal touch, I do. But then again, all of the email templates are written by me.
So it has your
So
personal touch.
they're all in my personal touch.
Yeah.
I've just rather than retyping out the exact same information every single time, like, hey guys, oh my God, so excited. This is what we do on a 10-hour wedding day.
Yeah.
It's just an automated email, or
Does
it's an email
she
template that
respond
she can send.
with your name, or is she responding?
color.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. I'm
has
so intrigued by because I mean, photographers do it all different ways, right? They'll have an assistant that actually responds, maybe puts it in a draft or something, and you're the one that just reads it over and sends it off or whatever. So it does actually come from you, or you have it come from a person. I feel like at the end of the day, our clients just want to hear from us. They don't give a shit if it's from me or from
Virtual
mini
assistant or
mini
anyone.
me.
Yeah.
They don't care. They just want a response to their question. Hey, do you want the salmon, the chicken, or the beef? Like literally, they want
Don't
they
care.
want to be able to move on to the next step in their planning process. And I do hate that a lot of the time I'm the thing that's holding that up for people, because I'm like, I'm stuck on this email dealing with so-and-so's photo timeline that makes absolutely no sense, because they've got me there for 12 hours and they've only, have an 8-hour package with me, right? Such a solvable thing. And I really like what you said, Josh, that if you have answered it twice, it can be a template. And if you've answered it 3 times, somebody else can do it for you, because that's factual, very factual.
That's our job.
Right?
Everything in our job is as much, if for some reason a couple has made it this far into the email, don't take offense, but as much as every wedding is individual and every wedding is different, they're all exactly the fucking same thing.
Truly.
Every weekend.
I mean,
we work
the
a 10-hour
human beings
day.
might be different in it, and their personalities and how I'm going to shoot the day. Yeah, like a lot of that's going to be different. But the number of times I have to answer the question, where should we do our photos when we're at this venue?
At the venue.
I know, and
Just
but
do it
like
at the venue.
Weather
somebody
dependent.
will just respond with like well, if it's raining, we'll do this, and if it's not raining, we'll do this, right?
This
And that's
is
all.
where
That's it.
books and videos, and so essentially anytime I get asked a question, I try to then set up an automated email to go out before I would receive that question. So
smart.
if people are asking about like timelines and stuff, as soon as somebody books with us, we send them a mock timeline of a standard day. Like I work
Right.
12 till 10, 11:30 to 9:30
Yeah.
every day of my fucking life.
Yeah.
So this is what a standard day would look like. 12 till 1, person 1. 1 till fucking 2, person 2, whatever. And we send them that. So they've got a mock timeline to go off of. I know that they're booking hair and makeup like 4 or 5 months in advance. That's when they're starting to figure out their like timings.
Yep.
So 5 months in advance, I say, hey, you're probably about to start booking your hair and makeup. They always ask us what time they want us to finish. Don't forget, this is the mock timeline that we have, or here's your timeline. Have them finish half an hour after we arrive at the girls, or fucking person 2 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that way I don't need to answer it. It's already automated. It'll
We get
trigger-
that question literally every single week. Somebody saying,
Yeah.
hey, the hair and makeup artists want to know what time you need them to be ready. And then I always have to come back with 37 more questions. Well, are you doing a first look? Where is it happening? Blah, 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 blah. So like that's a thing that, thank God, now I have a questionnaire built in, so that I then send them that a few months out, so that I can build out. It sounds like a very similar thing. Mine's just not automated because I'm terrified of automation. I have
I'm
fears.
terrified of non-automation, because then you forget to do things, or something could potentially. I don't ever need to think about. Like I said, remember, like I don't need to think about anything.
Yeah.
'Cause
I also
it's
think that's the biggest
automated.
difference between doing 80 something weddings and doing 30. Because when I was doing 60 plus weddings, absolutely, I had way more automations. I was far more hands off in my business. Doing 35 something, I'm more hands on. Let's maybe discuss the financial side of things. Do you want to talk about money? Do you like to talk about money?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, I love
Yeah.
talking about money.
What's your range, Josh? What do you charge for weddings?
Yeah, Tim's just like,
It
how much you charge?
starts at 10 grand, and then I've only got 2 packages, so it's 10,000 for photo only, and then it's 15,000 for hybrid photo video.
Is that average in your country?
No, I'm like 3 times above.
I was going to say
everything
that's
else.
huge.
No, twice above.
And wait, are we talking like Australian dollar?
Australian dollars, so that's like $1 Canadian.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like a 1-to-1. Yeah, okay. So
rad.
yeah, you're making a shitload of money. I actually think I think maybe it's 1.5.
Oh, it is almost 1-to-1. Yeah,
Is
wow.
it? Oh, okay. Our dollar used to be worse than yours by a lot, I think. The last time I was in Australia, I was like, holy shit, it's so expensive to be here.
How much is a coffee there?
Depends on the coffee.
Like a Starbucks, just a regular like Pike Place, whatever coffee is
there.
$3.
That coffee cup.
$3.
$3.
Yeah, that's like $6.
Yeah, interesting. So, I mean, I think a lot of things are inflated there, right? From our perspective, obviously. I always find it interesting when we talk to people about money. I ask American photographers how much they're charging, and they'll be like, oh, I don't charge that much. I charge like $4,000. I'm like, well, here, that's almost $7,000. So it's actually a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, photographers are terrible about giving ourselves credit for how much freaking money we can make for, essentially a day of work. You know, we all know that it's not, but like, it's a lot of money. So 10 grand or $15,000, that's a shitload of money, Josh. My feeling was, and I was dead wrong, was that your more hands-off approach meant that, and the quantity of weddings that you were shooting meant that you maybe were charging lower amount. So bravo.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
But you offer a superior service, which I think is the thing. Even though it may not be you personally delivering on the communications and whatever, it is superior that you are responding to people's inquiries
before they have questions for you.
It's it's actually kind of crazy that we are so stunned at people responding within 24 hours. Because I know that that's the thing that you pride yourself in. You've said that in your
We'll
response.
respond within an hour.
Yeah, like photographers don't do that.
No.
Like,
yeah, that's stupid. This
It's
is why
so
I have a
silly.
paid community where I'm teaching people how to actually respond better. So I talk a lot about like my past life. So my past life, I say like pre-internet, post-internet.
Got it.
Because like before I decided to become everything you see now, I was doing the exact
personality.
same stuff, but like I just didn't record myself because I didn't want to grow, because we always wanted to be obtainable. So that back then we didn't charge this much. We were charging like $6,500 to $7,000 Australian, which is like upper mid-ish range. But we were doing 125 weddings a year then, and like but I had other teams.
I was going to say, were you personally
Like, how
doing
do
that?
you-
Because that's not.
Okay.
Nah, so we're doing 125 a year here in Adelaide, and then we're just in Adelaide, but we had like other people go out. So I was still doing like 80 of those, but they were shooting like 40.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were still in the upper mid, but we were doing like both photo and video. Standard pricing in Australia is like the good photographers for 10 hours are charging probably like $5, and then the good videographers are probably charging like $4 to $4.50. But then I sort of became the anomaly that
The guy, like every single one of your reels that I swipe through, they have like 5,000 likes on them. That's insane. Because we're not just talking about like, oh, you've got a lot of views. People are really, truly engaging with your content. And like, I think you probably do get a lot of either block me or book me kind of people, right? I'm assuming that is maybe part of why your content takes off so much, is because it either lands with people in a great way and they love it and they respond to it, or they're like, this guy is everything I hate about weddings and photographers and blah, 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 right? Like it's polarizing, which obviously does quite well on the internet. So we see there's a guy that lives like below us, in the country below us.
Oh, like what?
There's a guy that lives in the country below us
There's a guy on
that
the
just
floor.
says like contentious shit every single day. He actually became the president because of it.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
But he just says contentious shit that people either fucking hate or are obsessed with, and then he became the president. So it's worked for you, this model, and
With that in mind, not to lead the witness, Josh, not to get too much into like the course and the content you create for the photographers.
perhaps we should.
Maybe we should. But if you could change one thing about how photographers market themselves, what would it be? New or old?
Because you're obviously doing quite
personality.
well at it.
Yeah.
They need some fucking personality. There's so many photographers out there, and I watch them because I'm still fucking like I'm on Instagram.
Yeah, man, you got
too
time.
much.
You only work 84 days a year.
Yeah, I mean, I do nothing else. I don't even have a real job. I'm just a
I
wedding
literally
photographer.
said, "Hey, you want to come on the podcast?" He's like, "What are you doing in 12 hours?" Like,
Yeah, I'll be here. But like, so when people comment on my stuff, and like, you can always fucking tell whenever somebody leaves like a negative comment, I'll go on their Instagram account and I'll have a gander. I've got nothing else to do. And there's like,
and like they're coming to you,
like,
so they're kind of putting themselves out there, saying, "Well, if I think I'm better than
there's
you."
no personality on their fucking profile, and they're all trying to be. I feel like even the most elegant wedding photographers that are trying to be at the highest end weddings still need to show their personality online, even if they muffle. Unless you're a shit person, I need to keep saying this, but like if you're a racist or a homophobe or that remember that creepy
one
guy
needs
we
your
were talking
opinion.
about, Lindsay? Fuck off.
The guy
But
with
like
Lois?
maybe
Yeah.
do put your personality on the internet so you get cancelled and kind of leave. But like just in general, you need to put more of yourself out there because people are booking the person, they're not booking the company.
Right.
Like you
To
don't
be honest,
go,
I actually do really appreciate when people show their hand and they show their ass specifically. If you're a wedding photographer and you're racist, or you're a wedding photographer and you dare to say that you don't shoot same-sex weddings,
Thank you.
please let us know.
Thank you for letting us know.
Let
Yeah.
us all know
Put it
so
on the
we all
internet.
know exactly where you fucking stand. And yeah, I do believe in cancel culture. Thank you. Like,
yeah.
there is a person for everyone, and unfortunately the person for you is like hopefully not getting married. I don't know.
Loveless.
Loveless.
Yeah.
Loveless. But yes, no, I agree. I think
We've talked about that a lot in this podcast. We had Jeff Mack, who's a wedding officiant who sat right here, and he's the kind of guy who will show himself. I mean, he's also like the most handsome person you've ever met.
God, I would
Didn't
be
he just shoot?
I would literally
didn't he
be
just hit
shirtless.
4,000 weddings?
Yeah,
just-
he did. Yeah.
He just
I just saw his
officiated
post.
2,000 weddings on
Oh,
his-
2,000.
Yeah, Saturday was just his
2000th officiant wedding. Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, I would also be shirtless if I looked like that.
Yeah,
Every single day I'd be
obviously.
shirtless.
I
he's
wouldn't
a- he's
own
a-
a shirt.
Literally,
I
yeah.
would be like the topless wedding photographer.
You would
If
Chip
you
and
think
Dale.
I'm
Shirt
just bringing
print
it to
of your-
extremes now.
You get a shirt print of your chest and just wear that T-shirt.
Actually,
Yeah.
maybe this weekend I should get a shirt print of Jeff's chest. I have the high res. I shot it on the Z8,
Yeah,
so
why
I
not?
could literally shoot Jeff's chest. I could screen print it onto a T-shirt. But Jeff does a really good job. He, he's not like a crazy guy. Like he's fun, he's entertaining, but
Yeah.
he shows his wife and his daughter. He shows why he loves officiating weddings and what they mean to him. He shows his personality. He shows his workouts and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he
And
says 4 buckets: family, the charity work he does, the weddings, and then Red Bull. Like that's his personality.
Red Bull,
basically.
yeah, that's so true, actually.
Yeah.
Do you
But
know who's my favorite person to mention when it comes to like showing your personality and showing your behind the scenes and showing like everything that is?
No,
Sure.
Who?
Liam.
Liam Good.
Oh, Liam's very good at that. Yeah.
He's the perfect example. He's the example that I use to everybody about it because
And it's very
he's
attainable
not
what
an
he does.
influencer. He's not. He doesn't. He doesn't have hundreds of thousands of followers. He doesn't have. Like all of these viral pieces of content that are bringing in leads. But he's consistently booked out
Yeah.
because he's built a brand and a business in his area and he showcases his behind the scenes. He showcases how good of a dad he is. He showcases like everything that he's doing, like come to the gym with me before a wedding and he's doing his kettlebell stuff and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he does it. He does exactly what you should be doing and it is there. He's booked out to the fucking teeth. Like all because he's doing everything that you should be doing. You should be showing your personality. You should be letting people in. You don't need to show everything about your personality. Like so many people on the internet don't know that I have kids
Right.
because I don't put them into the ethos.
Yeah.
Fuck, again,
You
I
love
don't
that
put them
word.
onto the internet. But like
Into the
I show
ether.
my
You do not put them out there.
personality
Yeah.
in different ways. I show the music and stuff that I like, and I'll show that my shitty jokes, and I put my dog on the internet a lot, and like all these parts of my personality I can put on there. You don't need to be like, well, those guys on the internet told me I need to show my personality, so here's my whole family tree, and this is where we live. And
is where I
It's
clip my
actually a really
nails.
good
Yeah.
point, though, Josh,
Yeah.
because I do think that that's a huge misconception. Our candle has just
Oh, it's eaten itself.
destroyed.
You seen this shit?
The black flame candle behind us has melted absolutely ever. It's a good thing it's a glass table. I think it's a huge misconception, and I think maybe it's a thing that requires some growing pains.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you have to do that growing publicly. That's the part that I absolutely hated when I first started doing more social media, more posting, because I posted a lot of personal shit that I wish I could take back. Like I posted a lot of things about my personal life that I'm like, that's fucking weird that people know this about me, and nothing embarrassing or whatever, but just there is a line at which you go from being like, okay, I'm doing this for marketing purposes to I am now just feeding an algorithm and I am just giving. And what's very interesting, what I found, and I don't know if you find this, Josh, because you don't like post 20 stories a day or anything like that regularly, not that I see. It's not like you're just posting literally every thought that comes into your brain. But what I have found is that the less that I'm posting, the more views that I'm getting on my stories specifically. And I think that it's because we're tricking the algorithm, and also because when you don't show everybody every single stupid little thing that you think of and you do every day, they are wanting more of the show, right? It's like, well, I haven't seen them in a little bit. I want to know what they're up to, or bury the lead a little bit here, right? But within showing your personality. But for the new people that are watching this thinking, well, how do I know what that is? Unfortunately, you just kind of have to
fuck up a bit.
Yeah, you have to just try it, and you just have to do it, and you have to see what feels good, right? Like for me, there would be things that I would post and I would just be like, oh, that didn't feel good. You know, I look back at that and I'm like, oh, I wish that this random person in the grocery store didn't know that about me.
Yeah.
And that's the double-edged sword of having, I mean, you have a shitload of followers. How many followers do you have now?
Instagram, I'm about to hit 250K.
No
we're on
way.
like 670,000 across the board or something now.
It's huge. But it is spooky to think that, like, okay, in order for me to grow, I have to show this personality, and you have to show people.
Yeah.
I Irish exit people at weddings, and you're showing these things that you are going to get some hate, right? You have to have thick skin in order to post these things. It's scary to wake up every day and have somebody just being like, Josh, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
But that's just my wife. I haven't even opened my phone yet.
I haven't even opened it. It's not even unlocked.
Not even online.
But it's a trade-off. So how do you handle that?
Please.
Well, not everybody should be on the internet is for the starters, but whoever's out there listening to this, if you've made it this far into our waffling, you don't need to post reels every single day.
Yeah.
You don't need to be putting out this content every single day. You can be a full-time wedding photographer in your area and never post a single reel. All you need is a tiny little piece, a tiny little slither of your personality somewhere. I tell all of my students that you need to have a welcome video on your website. If you go to my website, there's a welcome video. I sat here. It took me literally fucking 2 minutes to make. However, I'm hundreds and hundreds of hours deep in talking to a camera. But my first welcome video that I made 6 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, was me sitting in my office like as stiff as a fucking board with on-camera audio and a window light.
Nice.
And I was like, hey, I'm Josh. I'm a wedding photographer and I'd really love to come to your wedding. And I like to focus on candid photos and stuff. And I'm just showing the people that are on my website who I am. And that's how that's how I started showing my personality, is by showing them who I am as a person, rather than being like trying to be this elusive wedding photographer. And they're like, oh, he's so mystical. I just sat in front of a camera and I was completely honest. And I was like, I'm a wedding photographer and I want to be at your wedding because I want to have fun and I want to come and take photos of you. And then you just like,
and I'll wear this shirt with the shark drinking beer on it.
Yeah.
I think I was wearing that shirt or something like that. But you just need a tiny little slither of your personality on your website. It can be a 2-minute video that you fucking film on your phone and you go, hey guys, my name's Lindsay. I'm a wedding photographer and I focus on making sure that I capture those natural moments in between other moments, or I'm going to do this and this is how I can help you in your journey. And then just do like a proper targeted Facebook ad campaign or be active in all the wedding Facebook groups in your area. And you could be a full-time photographer and you've never posted a reel. The good thing about Facebook groups and the good thing about Facebook ads is that you can target exactly where you want this information to go. You can target, like, there's no industry in the world that the client comes to you and says, can you please market to me? Like, they'll go in a Facebook group and they go, I'm looking for a wedding photographer. I want to book one. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Nobody goes in a Facebook group and goes, fuck, I need a new vacuum cleaner. Can all the vacuum cleaner companies come and tell
Send me your
me
pitches on your vacuums.
send me your best offer and I'll pick a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
But that happens in wedding photography. So like, you don't need to post reels. You don't need to go out every day and film and we have a whole fucking course on making viral wedding content. But like, you'd see all the photographers, celebrants, whatever you are, going to a wedding or going to an event and they take those 60-second, like, they'll take a quick clip of the fucking flowers and then they take a quick clip of the sign and this, and then the caption's like, I had so much fun at Samantha and Jane's wedding day. No one fucking cares.
Dad,
we know you're making
reading
that
us for
reel
filth.
Get it.
because you know you have to.
Yeah.
Like,
It's literally,
if you don't
I
like
call it
making
proof
it,
of life.
no one likes
It's like
watching
we
it.
don't have, when we don't have the energy or the whatever, I'll tell my seconds, like, just do a proof of life, okay? Just make sure that it's documented and that it was there.
Yeah.
But that's not how you're going to get to this level.
No.
If you want to get to Josh level where you've got fucking haters, you have to
There's heaps of
put
'em.
something else, something different out there. It is okay to do a proof of life. If proof of life is all you've got in you, proof of life is better than dead on arrival, than zipped up
Proof
in a
of
bag.
life could be moved to, and this is what we talk about somewhere. I've spoken about this on the internet somewhere. If you're at a wedding and you're like, fuck, I've got a wedding, I need to post a reel because I'm at a wedding.
Yeah.
Focus on one thing.
Okay.
Make a video on one thing. If you walk up to the wedding, some of my most viral videos, millions of views, are me showcasing like the flowers. Like, here's the coolest thing I saw at today's wedding. And it's the flowers.
It's actually
'cause they
very
looked
simple.
cool.
It's very funny. I love trying to unpack why things have gone viral. It's one of my favorite things. Your videos are one of my favorite things to look at and unpack. And I think it's the simplicity in them. You capture one 30-second part of the day. It's not filled in with 50 wedding photos, and it's not filled in with, and now I'm going to give you posing tips, and now I'm going to do this, and now each one is its own standalone thought that is either going to get people to follow, or at the very least, they're going to watch it 6 times to be like, what's he on about? And maybe they'll scroll past, but they watched it 6 times and it's going to come back to them again. And like, your videos come up in my feed. It's probably because I am obsessed with you. Like every other, it's like every other reels. Taylor's like, what? I'm obsessed with your
He doesn't
business
watch our
model, Josh.
podcast.
No, Taylor's never watched an episode. I find that so interesting. I would love for you to tell people where they can get your education, because I feel like this is probably really landing for a lot of our listeners. I imagine that they're like,
Before we get to the
how
last,
do I do this?
last segment, give us your plug. Give us your
you can come if you'd like. Go to the link in my bio. There's stuff there.
Okay.
Like, I have a community. So we have like a paid community where, well, now we're doing 2 classes a week. So there's one big class. It's a 45-minute class that we run a week on an aspect of wedding business. It's actually applicable to anybody in the wedding industry, because we're just talking about marketing, branding, content, fucking whatever. I don't talk about camera settings. I don't talk about lighting. I don't talk about how to use a flash, because that's not my area of expertise. I know how to use it all, but I'm not going to teach you. There's other educators that are
this is where you go for
better.
the Josh.
This is just branding,
method.
marketing, fucking actually building and making money in the wedding photography industry.
Love it.
And our goal is to get you from wherever you are to 6 figures, because it's actually not that fucking hard.
Amazing. Go to the description
so
of this episode. All the details will be there for
And then we have like courses as well. Like, I've got a course on Facebook ads. I've got a course on fucking making viral content. But there's just this all there. You don't need to do it. If you want to do it, you'll find it yourself. I don't need to fucking market to you.
You know the internet. You understand how this shit
You guys
works.
understand
You know
it. You
the
can
internet.
Look around, you idiot.
Google
You know where that stuff is.
the internet.com.
Get on the For You page of Instagram. You'll find me pretty quickly. And then
That's
just
actually
click the
very
links and
true,
stuff.
especially after you've listened to this entire freaking podcast. 1000%, you're going to see his shit in your For You page or your Discover, whatever that
I'm
thing's
so
called.
sorry in advance.
We've taken so much of your time, Josh. We appreciate you so much. Let's get to the final segment
Okay.
of this show. Which
Listen, it's really, we've come full circle because
bit.
it's how I first started talking about you, which was last week when we brought up our strong opinions loosely held. It's our new segment where we share a strong opinion that, listen, I could take it or leave it. I do feel pretty strongly about it right now,
Okay.
but maybe at some point I could be convinced otherwise. I never want to be one of those people that's like, I feel 1000% this way and you'll never change my mind, because during this time period, fuck, I might start wearing shorts and Vans.
Sounds nice.
It's good.
But Josh, I would love to hear. You're rather opinionated. Like, I mean, if anybody's ever, if they listened to literally any part of this, I'm sure they got there. But also, if they just have ever seen you on the internet, they know that you have some opinions. So it feels like the perfect time for us to ask you, what is a strong opinion that you have that you'd like to share with the class?
Wedding planners are a waste of money. Photographers do all the work anyway.
Go off, Queen.
I feel like, and again, I'm fucking more than happy to be proven wrong.
Loosely
and I have
held.
some great wedding planner mates, but I never get to work with them because we work different weddings. But
Right.
Because they're not at the
If
weddings
you've got-
where you're sculling a beer with the boys.
well, no, they like. I feel like if you've got good vendors that know their shit, wedding planner doesn't do that much.
Yeah.
If you've got a florist that knows how to do florals, they'll do it. And,
Yeah.
and they don't need somebody telling them how to do it. If you've got a good DJ that knows how to DJ and run a DJ timeline, a planner's just getting in the way. If you got a good photographer who knows how to photograph, they can do it, and we can work
And a
together as a
venue that
cohesive
doesn't
unit.
suck. That's
Yeah.
the other thing. If a
And a venue,
if a venue is sucking, 1000% you need a planner, right?
sure.
But like if you have all of these people that work well together.
How can a venue be so shit that you need a planner? Isn't that their job to be
seen
a
them.
wedding venue?
Well, okay, this past weekend I was the photographer / guest and I lit the candles because I asked the venue like 4 times to light the candles. So
Yeah.
I mean,
They're out
And
there.
see, but that's something like a photographer would just kind of step up, and if you didn't step up, maybe a DJ or something would have stepped up and
but
be
I
like,
would
hey,
agree
these candles
that
need to be
if
fucking
you hire
lit.
the right people, like it just pissed me off enough that I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing it then, because there is a fireplace with 50 candles in it, and I'm not going to photograph a fireplace with 50 unlit candles. So
Yeah.
I agree with you that it might take away, 10 minutes of my day, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think that
So
they're
what's the
useless?
planner doing?
There was
Holy
no,
What are they
Shit.
doing? If we all do our job properly,
Yeah.
all they're doing is adding more emails and more stress because they have their own timeline. Like, we all know our timelines. We know what works for us. We know the best way to do it. We do it every single weekend. What are they doing?
I
On
will
the day
say that I have
coordinator,
absolutely had
maybe.
weddings that wedding planners made my day and the couple's day 1,000 times harder. I've had them where they have made them easier,
Yeah.
not 1,000 times easier, but slightly easier.
Is slightly easier worth thousands of dollars? Slightly easier?
For the right couple.
If you said they changed the game and they were like, this wedding planner, they fucking nailed it. I don't want to talk to wedding planners. I want to talk to the couple because I want to be on the same page as my couple.
That's the
I don't wanna
hardest
be-
thing. Like the closest I've ever gotten to a lawsuit was because a client had their planner negotiating with me on shit, and the planner was trying to soften what I was saying, and I was like, no, say it exactly how I said it. Say, I will not reschedule your wedding for the 6th time during COVID for free. That's not fucking happening. And that's what I said. I was like, it's not happening. I'm not doing it. They will owe me thousands of dollars if they reschedule even one more time. All their money is lost. And interestingly enough, that was the only wedding I've ever had where the couple literally said, okay, we're going to lawyers. And I was like, show me what you said to them. Show me what you said, because you've mucked this up so badly that I'm trying to figure out how we got here. Because if I was speaking to them directly, well, we wouldn't have been in that scenario. I guarantee it.
The only 1-star review that I have is from a wedding where we were speaking to a wedding planner, because the couple somehow got confused. Even though we did a Zoom call with the couple, I mean, the couple's whatever, but
they hear that first intro and then you never know, right? Like what a planner's saying in between. The planner has 12 photographers that they're currently speaking with. So maybe they said, oh yeah, like Josh told me that he'd be there. He wouldn't mind staying for an extra 3 hours. He's not bothered by that at all. He'll totally do that. Right. And then I think that's where we get blurred, mixed signals, lines, and it can get truly so messy. So I don't know. I think that is quite the hot take there. I appreciate it. We're going to get some people very fired up in the comments.
Especially in America, because they love planners in America. Don't they?
Yeah.
Love them.
Not quite. I mean, we don't have quite such a planner mentality here in at least specifically in our area. One of our like best friends is a wedding planner. She does a lot of like weddings where they don't have venue coordinators, or it's like couples that couples lack the confidence in the overall plan. You know what I mean? I think that's where we like find the need for a planner, is when couples lack the overall confidence. But it's not the same here in Canada as it is in the US, where they're like obsessed with wedding planners. Like every wedding has a planner. We don't see that the same way. But again, it really changes based on the people that you hire. And I think Tim and I are at the price point where either we're getting like people hire a planner just to like swing their dick. Like, yeah, of course we got a planner. You think I'm so pedestrian that I would plan my own fucking wedding?
My own timeline?
Or that they are going the opposite direction, where they're like, I'm good. I'm A-type. I know I'm hiring the right people.
Yeah.
Like, I've hired you and I've spent a little bit more money on hiring you because I know that you're great and I know that you're going to do what you do. And that's what I always hope for, is the couples that just say, I invested in the right people. I hired the great DJ because I don't want to question if the DJ's showing up. I hired the right people because I don't want to question that they're going to be where they say they're going to be, right? Like it seems so minimal, but it's one of the things that I used to tell people in like the early days of my business is, if you spend this amount of money, the one thing I can guarantee for you is that I will be there. Like I was throwing up at my wedding last Thursday and I was like, I'll be there, buddy. No worries.
Don't you want someone to hire you because they want you, not hire you because the planner said you were good? Like that makes sense. Like I want a couple to come to me and hire me because they're like, oh, I really want Josh because he's Josh and I really want Josh to come shoot my wedding. Not because the wedding planner was like, well, these guys are going to do 15% off if you book today and they're going to be there for 10 hours and going to take the photo. That's how you end up being treated like staff, and that's how you end up getting bad reviews because you drank a beer on the dance floor but the planner didn't tell you that's your shtick.
Yes. They didn't know that was you. And I guess that's totally fair. And I think when I have had some of my worst client situations, it's usually that exact thing, Josh, where I was hired because I was referred by somebody and they just said, sure, hire her. We don't care. Like,
she's fine.
Like it was literally
you have decision fatigue. There's 1,000 of you.
Whatever.
Go with this one. She's fine.
And then they ask 5,000 questions the week before the wedding because they have never seen your work. They have never seen your website. They lack total confidence in you. They like,
send you a Pinterest board that's the opposite of what you shoot.
Yeah.
That's always a good one.
Yeah. They send you a Pinterest board and you're like, so I'm a little worried. You've never Googled me.
Anything I do.
I had somebody message me the other day. They're like, just before the wedding, they're like, yeah, we really love muted tones. And I was like, well, that's not me. So,
well, I'm worried about that.
Hope you enjoy your gallery because it's not that.
It's always spooky. And usually in those times, I'm like, okay, sounds good. And then I just deliver whatever I'm going to fucking deliver anyways. And they're like, oh, this is gorgeous. I'm like, bingo.
Josh, we could talk to you forever. We have 5 minutes left in this recording for this switcher because there's not enough space. We've used it all.
We literally used all of it.
I won't stop.
We won't either if we had
If
a
you
choice.
don't end your podcast, I will just literally keep talking.
We'll keep you on here. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll see you in the same spot.
I mean, it's the
I'll be
beginning of
here.
your day there. It's the end of ours, but we could
It's
stay.
only
Tacos.
20 past 10 in the morning. I've got fucking heaps of time. I'll just keep going.
Thank you so much for being
Thank
here,
you,
Josh.
Josh.
We're going to have you back because I feel like we still have more to discuss.
Yeah.
But truly, if you're a photographer that's listening to this, make sure that you check out Josh's Instagram. It's probably like an easy
here.
starting point.
It's
And
here.
then go and look at his education content, because if you suck, he doesn't. He'll teach you how to not suck.
Find out how you can shoot 84 weddings and spend Tuesdays to Thursdays on the beach.
Yeah.
And also go to workshops. I went to a workshop in Canada 3 years ago with Lindsay
Tell
and
me
Taylor.
more.
And
Yeah, you
Tim
did.
wasn't there.
I was
That's
not there.
how we
Book
met.
Focal, the first one. We've only got 5 minutes left, but go to a workshop, spend the money,
Yeah.
spend money on education because you can claim it on tax and it'll make you better. And now
It
the photo that
matters.
Lindsay took of the whole group comes up on my Google Nest as a
That's so
reminder
nice.
of all the times that we spent together.
Memories
That's all.
in Canada. We love that. Thank you so much, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
We appreciate you. Toodaloo, my dude. Enjoy
Toodaloo.
your day, and we'll see you next Monday.
Ciao, everybody.